Hello, this is Justin Seven with Sportsbook Review. I'm now investigating a rather disturbing set of complaints against Betfair, which is leaving a bunch of players puzzled, saying, "Why are you taking my money?" In the last 2 months, Sportsbook Review has received 3 different complaints from players against Betfair, and in each instance, the players received a letter that looked like this. Basically, the letter says, "We looked at your account, we decided you were breaking some rule, we're taking your money, and we're not going to tell you anything about it." If you read the fine print in Betfair's 50 pages of rules, it says in there, among other things, that we reserve the right to investigate accounts, close your account if we think you broke a rule, and if we even suspect you broke a rule, we can seize your money and not give it back to you. And that's what happened in these 3 cases. One player complained July 10th. He'd been playing with Betfair for 9 months. Boom, account closed, 200 euros gone. No explanation of what he did. July 27th, another player had been playing about a month, asked about the status of his earned bonus. Boom, account closed, balance confiscated. No explanation. And then August 29th, Betfair is apparently raising the stakes. Player 1,100 euros, closed the account, confiscated it. Boom, no explanation, money just gone. I'm looking at these complaints, and I'm just saying to myself, what the hell are you doing? You don't just take a person's money with no explanation. So I emailed Betfair, and I got the usual runaround. I called Betfair, I got the usual runaround, until finally I spoke to a manager who promised to put me in charge of somebody who could talk to me. I finally had the opportunity to discuss the matter with Tony Blair, Betfair's head of media, and he said he'd be glad to talk to me, and unfortunately he couldn't tell me anything. He said not to worry though, they're corresponding with the players, except that's false. They're not telling the players anything. Now, Betfair may actually have valid reasons for closing accounts and confiscating balances. There could be actual fraud or money laundering or some horrendous crime. But normally if a player is doing something wrong, you tell them what you did and you give them a chance to refute it. But with their procedure now, where they just said, "Oh, you lose, we're taking your money," and it doesn't even have to have occurred. It just has to believe they suspect it occurred. If Betfair thinks you broke their rules, they can close your account and take your balance, and you get no opportunity to discuss it. That's a huge foul. You can't just take people's money and not give them a chance to even discuss your suspicions. When you send money to a book, you're not giving it to them. You're letting them hold it for you. This money that they're holding for the players belongs to the players. And if you have a contract that says, "We can take your money at will with no explanation," that means every single person who sends money to Betfair theoretically could have their balance zeroed, gone, and account closed. And if you have an agreement that permits that, just based on a suspicion, with no proof, no evidence, that's what's called an illusory contract. It's not even a real contract, or at least that term isn't, because it in essence lets Betfair do whatever they want, whenever they want, with no obligation, no oversight. In the U.S. law, which is based on British common law, if you have an illusory term, you generally strike it, you ignore it. If you strike the terms, Betfair is not allowed to simply take the money. It's not theft yet, but once a court strikes down this term, says what they're doing, at that point, these confiscations could be considered theft. So for the short term, I'd watch Betfair extremely closely until they either come forward, say what they're doing when they're stealing these players' balances, or until they stop it. That's all for this week. If you have any questions, send me an email, justin@sportsbookreview.com.